All right, everyone, this one's going to be an important lesson for everyone and a bit of a reminder. I'm going to say careful who you let work on your vehicle. I'm not going to bother naming the diesel specialist who did this work, but this is why we do what we do, trying to educate you guys, because I can't do them all. My team can't do them all. Our workshop partners can't do them all. So we need some help, so you need to watch the videos and learn. Now, this recently went for injector replacement for whatever reason, somewhere to a diesel specialist. And he's contacted me complaining about a vibration. And look, you know, these don't vibrate, it's a 150, engine mount should be okay. And when he said injector's been replaced, I was concerned because we've had bad experiences with people getting remanufactured injectors other places. So I thought, come past, I'll have a quick look, check it out. They're not remanufactured injectors, so assuming they're all new and it's been replaced correctly, which we're assuming a lot of that. And from what we've found, I think that's probably a bad assumption. So I'm just going to quickly in this video run through, without pulling the vehicle apart, some of the things I've found that have been missed. And I don't know that who worked on it last has made all these mistakes, but when we do this sort of job, if we find these sorts of things, we fix them up, put the missing bolts back, fix the zip ties, we put it back together properly. So I take responsibility to put it back how it's meant to be, original Toyota factory condition, where possible. I mean, you can't always do everything. We've got a lot of spare factory nuts and bolts there. Sometimes you run out. You know, simple things like having one clamp facing each way like that. I don't like that, but that's not the biggest part of the problem. So we'll start around this side because this is the good side. Looking over this side, the job looks all right. Now, it's been about a couple of months. It's a pretty dirty, dusty engine. I don't know if that's from trips since then, but I like to have a pretty clean engine bay, or at least clean components when doing one of these jobs. There's no oil leak at the valve cover, so that's good. The PCV pipe's on, the injectors are plugged in, that's good. The problems I can see from this side though, see this wiring loom here? First problem. So we're working our way across slowly. So it's not from best to worst, it's just, people are gonna say, what's this plug? Don't worry about that, that's fine. Is that in? People are gonna need to be careful not to butcher these clips. They're easy to release. When you work on these cars, you can get the tape out and you can re-tape the wiring loom a little bit more. It's not hard to do. These clips, they do deteriorate. People just rip them off and sometimes they just deteriorate. You just take the guts out of that and you put a zip tie through it and it goes around the wiring loom that you've just retaped. I can show you one in another video if you like. Just subscribe, turn the bell on, you'll find it in an old video. These clips, there's no access to remove the clip, so you just undo the zip tie. You just release the little clip and lift it out. Same with, there's another one further just back here. I'm just going to sort of show you how someone has butchered the hell out of that and it hasn't been put back in the hole. I'm going to put it in. I'm not saying that it's good, but just put it back in, re-tape that, put a zip tie. Right, follow that wiring loom, besides needing a bit of tape. You know, no one's fault, it's just hasn't been done, that's all. That's what I like. But at the back of the wiring loom, up on top of the EGR valve, bolt missing. There's a little bolt that goes in there to secure that wiring loom so it doesn't vibrate around. Diesel vibration, and then wiring rubs through and vehicles end up on the side of the road. That needs to be put in where it needs to go. Okay, the clamps on the fuel lines. See the one on this fuel line, it's all the way to the back. There's a chance the bottom, the metal part, can make contact with the bend in the fuel pipe. The clamp needs to be securely placed in the middle of that straight section on the main straight. Same on this one, it needs to be on the main straight, not all the way to the back. So that's kind of not quite right. We're maybe being a little bit fussy here, but things get worse. Long story short, they broke the radiator. It's a genuine vehicle, only 170k I might add. Okay, the radiator, that's a bit of a hard one, you know. 170k, it shouldn't break. Someone's lent on it's broken off. It's a sort of common problem. They put an aftermarket radiator, just my opinion. I'd put the genuine one in, but anyway, just my opinion. Over here, there's a lot of, looks like sealant on the components of the EGR and the throttle body. That's not needed, you just replace the genuine gaskets. The map filter was cracked and leaking. We've just replaced that since it's here. Working my way down slowly. I'm looking down here, right on those lines there. There's meant to be another clamp that's missing right there. on those two pipes clamping to each other. And when in the same picture, you can see the wiring loom down the front there, down here. See there's a clip right in the middle of the picture now. That wiring loom is meant to be in that clip, but if people just keep ripping wiring off and busting clips like this one right here, you can see. Look, I don't know who worked on it last did this, but since that it's only 170k and this is an injector replacement job that would have never been done before, I'd imagine that none of this has probably ever been pulled apart before. So there's a good chance why they just rip or cut zip ties that can be released. We don't even release this one because you can get to the little tabs underneath and you just press quite simply there and there at the same time, and this whole thing just lifts out, stays on the wiring loom. But we've got a situation now, what would I do? I'd get the guts of that out, just remove that, cut that part off, put a zip tie through the hole underneath where this is going through, this part here, and around the wiring. That's the best you can do other than go to Toyota and hopefully order one of those little zip tie clips anyway, right? It's just not necessary. Clamps on the side of the fuel lines, they look like they're in place. All right, let's move across to the radiator. So because they broke that, they had to replace the radiator. They actually, I'm told, gave it back to the customer and it was a comeback, but anyway, it was all, had all this sealant stuff on there. See, this radiator fan shroud is not secure because there's meant to be a bolt securing it down underneath on the side of this fan shroud under the radiator hose. It's a bit hidden, but not only is the bolt not there, they've snapped the plastic off the side of the fan shroud so it can't be secured now. So the security of that is all based on these half busted clips. You know, and I've told you these covers, you don't need these clips, but if you've got no security of your fan shroud, you probably do need them, and better ones than that. But so get rid of them, just put the genuine ones in, which here there's none of those left, or just leave it empty like I do in my cars. I just put one clip in the middle so the wind can't blow it away when the bonnet's open. The rest of the time the rubber seal comes down and sits firmly against here and holds that in place, so you don't need any clips. Next problem. So they replaced the radiator. This is just what I've seen without pulling it apart, just looking around, trying to see what he's got causing a possible vibration. Is there any issues here? And I am pedantically fussy about putting vehicles back how they're meant to be and keeping it reliable, especially in these vehicles we love, own, use, and specialise in. There's no bolt in the top of that radiator there. That nut, that's empty. There's nothing in there, okay? That is one of the bolts. There's 4 bolts that secure the radiator to the vehicle. And that one, I can't see down the bottom. I can't see the next ones. I don't know what else is wrong. I'm just going by what I can see. Clamps missing, zip ties missing, radiator's not secure, fan shroud's not secure. It's not really a good look at the moment, is it? Should I really keep looking further? Do we need any more? There is actually meant to be another clip between the 2 vacuum lines there, but that's not a big deal. It often gets misplaced with people servicing, changing oil filters. If you change your oil filter, be careful you don't knock those filters off the top of the VSVs. Left side of the picture, on the right side of the oil filter, see that black thing? On the left upward side of the blue and brown plug. Careful you don't bump those with your oil filter tool or you'll end up at pick apart as well. What else? Look, you know, the mess on the, just genuine replacement gaskets. There's no need for any sealant. It's a bit messy. Put the clamps the way they're meant to be, facing the same way. It'd just be nice. Now, I haven't gone to town on this. Oh, there's the clamp missing, the plastic clip that goes between these 2 hoses. Right, so that's meant to be secured. That could be rubbing on the clamp below it. Yep, it is. They've got the clamp in the wrong position. It's sticking up. See, how do I get this? You can kind of see right in the middle of the picture. It's hard to get a view on with my limited, but that hose is hitting on the end of like one of these clips where that clamp's meant to be around, clip, clamp, whatever. It's meant to be around in a different direction. That hose wouldn't hit then, and there's meant to be plastic clips that go between these 2 hoses there and there to keep it separate. Okay, look, I think I'm over it. Aren't yous all over it? We haven't even begun yet. So what do we do here? Customers already spent $5.5 grand getting an injector job. Could have spent that money here, certainly got a better job, but like I said, I can't do everyone, so I'm not too fussed. Don't really want to be bagging out other businesses, but they really need to pull their socks up so they can employ me to train the guys and maybe just get them onto my videos because they can learn something. They might not like it, but if they've got that attitude, maybe they're wrong people for the job. Everybody should be on the videos learning, and seeing, you know, send this to the technician that did this job, and mate, he needs to pull his socks up. I know it's hard to get replacements, but unsatisfactory work isn't good enough. So I think if you haven't got workers to do the work satisfactorily, it's time to replace them or stop booking in the work. It needs to be done properly. This isn't good for anyone. It's not good for your reputation. It's up to the client if they want to share who it is or not, whatever. Bada bing, bada boom. Catch you in the next video.